but we're going to start in the NFL and the idea behind the topic, because I think we've looked at and thought about going into the season is that Trevor Lawrence will be a week one starter for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I know Urban Meyer is kind of trying to throw some doubt, or maybe he is just that confused. I don't know. It could be one of either of those two things. He looked very confused on the sideline last night. It was a great video image for me. But the thought here is should any rookie quarterback, let's say besides Trevor Lawrence, because by all accounts Trevor Lawrence should be on the field for the Jags, although unfortunately for him and that team, they're could have been starting running back. Travis Etienne is out for the year. Found that out today with the Liz Frank injury. So an unfortunate injury there to start the Lawrence and Meyer era in Jacksonville. But when you're looking at the rest of these rookie quarterbacks, and I think kind of the idea and the buzz from this really came out of Chicago, where the question has been Andy Dalton, Justin Fields. But looking at the rest of the rookie quarterbacks this year, I mean, there's ones that I think we're fairly safe and in agreement that will not be on the field week one, probably won't be on the field at all this year. And Kyle Trask, Kellen Mond, Devin Mills, Ian Book, Sam Mellinger. Those are guys that fairly certain probably won't be on the field, at least definitely not week one. But when you're looking at the rest, and these are guys that were first-round starters, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Mac Jones. Are there any of those that you guys should be on the field week one? Kyle, you're the guest. We'll start with you.
Yeah, man. No, first of all, like anyone who was about to say Trey Lance, just stop, right? I didn't think he should be starting. The team told you they would be starting, and I have to lead with Trey Lance because somebody's going to notice that I'm the one wearing the gold, but I have red with mine. So, I feel compelled to comment on that first. They weren't going to start Trey Lance. That wasn't going to happen. And don't worry about that, because with his minimal starting experience and the fact that it's only a matter of time before Jimmy Grops is on the sideline, he'll get in there soon enough. But week one, no. Of the ones you mentioned, other than Zach Wilson, keep in mind, my man, the reason why Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence are starting is because we're talking about horrible front offices, right? We're talking about franchises that aren't new to the cellar, okay? Like, they're in there so long. I'll do one of my wine snobby jokes, right? They're in there so long, they've been riddled a few times, okay? Their roommate in the cellar is the Riddler because he has to constantly turn the wine. No, that's not a Batman cellar. There's a Batman villain. There's actually a guy whose job it is to turn champagne bottles. Thank you. Try the pill, Jim. Anyways, no, so... because those franchises are so bad and they need that much help, and in the case of the Jags, they got all the injuries you mentioned in ETN. They're down 3 linemen in that very same game before it's even the snap takes place, and I think they lost another one during the course of that game. So the situations are dire. That's when you see a start. However, of all the other names, of all the other potential starting quarterbacks in week one, the one that I would not have been bothered by starting is Justin Fields, right? Why do you say that, Kyle? I know the bar is set pretty low. We're talking Jay Cutler and Sid Luckman as the next two options. Okay?
Yikes.
And maybe Eric Kramer is the third. Hey, Google him. Trust me, he had a great playoff performance. And the only reason why he struggled is because in the first round, he played the Niners that year. Okay. Anyways.
I have no idea who that is.
I didn't expect you would. You're not a Bears fan. Trust me, GWSTWLIO has some idea of who I'm talking about. And if not, ask Controversy Robbie Haynes of the 3-point conversion. There's some plugs for you. Anyways, he's trying to find the ding. Give him a second, Matt. But the reason you start Justin Fields is because he could literally be the best quarterback in franchise history. However, as a student of the game, I see the reverse side of the coin. Why on earth would you start him week one right now? He could be the best quarterback in franchise history. So I ain't mad that Justin Fields isn't starting, but if he did, like, I kind of lean that way, especially with kind of how he's looked. But let's not listen. I know the joke is to make fun of the Ginger Ninja, but like with the Red Rifle, he's been to the playoffs plenty of times. I know he lost 4 or 5 games in the playoffs. One of them wasn't his fault because Vontez Perfect did a move on Antonio Bryant and Ben Roethlisberger throughout that game that you guys should have been talking about on 3 count. Does it count if I'm plugging your show?
Sure. We'll give it. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
So, I mean, other than Zach Wilson, perhaps I think Justin Fields would have been really the only one that fits that. Sam Ehlinger, he's starting basically because somebody already got hurt. That doesn't count.
Yeah, which I think he's okay, or at least he was back this week. So at least for this week, it looks like that guy's okay. We do have a comment here. Can you guys help me with the week 0 point spread? Sure, throw it in the comments, man. Yeah, if you're following along with us live and you have questions, comments, whatever, throw them in. We'll get them out there. But Matt, any thoughts to the rookie quarterbacks in week 1 of the NFL?
Yeah, I think the only one that really did make sense was Justin Fields, just because of, I think you want to bring the fans in, the excitement in, bring some football excitement back to Chicago. I mean, they haven't been excited about that team since the Cody Parkey double doink. So you need to get the fans back into the stands somehow, some way. I don't think that Andy Dalton is the way that you do that, especially with how Fields has looked in preseason. I mean, I know he's taken a few shots, so he's not averse to getting hit at this point. He's
still trying to find his teeth and mouth guard from that one this past weekend.
Yeah, so he's got some durability there. So maybe see what you got in your O-line there, build it up, but let them all grow together as opposed to just having Dalton shoehorned in at this point, because I think by week 3 we'll be seeing the Bears fans calling for a change anyway.
Yeah. Let me add this one thing too, Matt. That's a great point. You say week 3. I would add in the Kyle Orton theorem here. Me sounding like a student here, right? Anybody remember why Kyle Orton is relevant? Right? Isn't that the guy that got replaced by one Timothy Tebow? Yes.
Oh, right.
2 and 4 before before it was Tebow time, right? I think you'll see the same sort of thing for the Ginger Ninja upcoming too. And you mentioned something. I love the point about growing together, Matt, with the O-line, but I could also, again, on the other side of the coin, make the argument that the O-line's the damn reason Fields ain't out there. I believe you saw that guy come in and like, yeah, it's a juggernaut, bitch, and just, special. So you're not wrong, but by the same token, I could use that same line. Exactly. I can use that same line and apply it to the other side. So, it's a tough call. Matt Nagy does not have an easy one there. I'll put it that way.
No. Yeah, he certainly doesn't. And yeah, it's Trevor Lawrence, like we said, should absolutely be out there.
Is Wilson was he named starter for the Jets at this point, or is that still
I don't know if he's officially been named, but I feel like it's one of those, wink wink. Yeah. It's going to be.
We're letting camp play out type thing. Gotcha.
We're letting the competition play out. Yeah, kind of like Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. Okay, like
kind of like Flacco and Hurts too.
So I mean, Lawrence will be out there. Wilson will be out there. And I knew Kyle the Trey Lance would definitely get your attention with. I think the talk over the last couple of days, he's gotten attention, but yeah, there's no reason for him to be out there week 1. I think, at least every 49ers fan and every intelligent NFL fan that cares about more than just their team, I think is aware of what the, if we want to use that word, process in San Francisco is going to be with the quarterback position. And you
Listen, the alternative is a quarterback who was a half a quarter away from beating Patrick LeVon Mahomes II in a damn Super Bowl just 2 years ago. Okay, we're right. It's gonna be all right.
Like I know we all have short-term memories and when it comes to sports, but people I think can tap the brakes just a hair. The big one is with Justin Fields, but I think the Mac Jones in New England situation is one that I don't necessarily think it's going to be a week 1 situation unless Cam Newton keeps making some poor life choices, or at least maybe not even poor life choices, misunderstanding what the protocols are for this season in the NFL. And I mean, there's some guys in Buffalo that should probably do the same, but you know, we see a situation that Cam Newton has to sit for 5 days because he thought he was doing the right thing, ended up not, and now is in COVID protocol. So
I think you're good with saying poor life choices, right? We've already forgotten there's a whole South Park thing on the way that Patriots misinterpret things. Okay. I misinterpreted the rules. Okay. That's what that was.
It does seem to be the Patriot way. I mean, if we're being honest about it. But yeah, I mean, so hypothetically speaking, and it sounds to be or appears to be that he's not vaccinated. So if you continue to not take things as seriously, maybe as you need to, you may end up on a COVID list, and then Mac Jones may have a job, you know, long before people were planning on it. And you never know what can happen when a guy takes a job. You know, you know, ask Alex Smith how that worked out at one time in his career. So
sometimes your prospects are bright like a diamond, and sometimes it's like a lump of coal. You know, like Cole Beasley. Come on, man.
I see what you did there. Yeah. So we're already seeing. I mean, we're already seeing this week the COVID situation and the protocol situation as it comes to vaccinated, unvaccinated, close contacts, things like that. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts to this upcoming year, and that'll be something that we'll address on a weekly basis here on this show. Any other thoughts on the rookie quarterbacks before we shift gears here a little bit? Staying in an NFL realm, but not totally the NFL, more post NFL.
I think the reason we even have this as a topic as that's pervasive as it is, I blame 2012 for it, man. Like, that was a big quarterback year, right? Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, among others.
Yes.
So, I mean, we've been pretty spoiled since then. You know, you're not supposed to see quarterbacks start. I'm leaving out RG3, of course, you know, who had that one good year, you know, but
yeah.
Rookies are not supposed to necessarily start, and if they are, your franchise was that bad. Bottom line, sorry, Jags. Facts of the case are those. They're not.
I mean, you know, because you don't want your quarterback, you know, getting killed right off the bat, and you should theoretically be in a situation where they can come into a team, learn from behind a starter, and get caught up to the game. I mean, it's either your franchise is bad or you catch an injury, and those are usually two reasons why a quarterback starts week one.
I don't want a 22-year-old touching my personal finances, let alone being the face of my franchise if I can help it. I'm saying.
That's a solid point.